2020, yeah? No why spirit at all. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ayo. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Before we get started, please give me a like. It very much helps me out, and subscribe for more content like this. But without further ado, let us talk about 2020 and the goals that we have set for ourselves. 2020 is not cancelled. It's not cancelled just yet, okay? There's been a lot of hard truths coming to the surface. There's been a pandemic. There's been a lot that we may have thought we would be able to do this year that we haven't been able to do. But I think that it's only right that in the middle of the year, you know, we're in the middle of June now, we're really halfway through the year, we can have the opportunity to redefine our goals, take a look at them, and make sure that they're still applicable for the season. So just to give you a perspective, I'm going to talk about the goals that I had set myself at the beginning of the year. So I'm about to get real candid with you guys, okay? And I'm going to talk to you about what I think about those goals, what I think we can all learn from them in terms of how we can approach the rest of the year, and how I'm going to try and make sure I set better goals for myself in the future. I'm going to go into my journal. By the way, if you haven't checked out my video about why I think you should start journaling, please make sure you check it out. It should be coming up on the eye right here. But yeah, I've got my journal, which is really good for just documenting my goals, documenting how my year has gone and all of that stuff. So I really have a great place to start in terms of looking at my goals and how far I've come to achieve them. So the great thing about this journal is that it splits your yearly goals into personal, financial, career, and physical. And I didn't set like 4 for each one of them, but I've set at least 2 for each one of them, and we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about my personal goals. Y'all guys are getting really into this. Oh my gosh. So my 3 personal goals that I'd set for myself was to 1, become a consistent blogger, to 2, step out of my social comfort zone often, and 3, write my own sermon. Now, this is a difficult one to judge because, again, the way I set them, it didn't really give myself like something that I could check it against. And if you want to think about how you can set really good goals, especially in terms of these 4 areas, please make sure you check out my podcast, because I actually did a whole setting goals series at the beginning of the year where I actually gave more concrete advice on how you can set goals, like financial goals, career goals, and all that stuff. So it was really good in that sense. But it's interesting here because I didn't actually follow my own advice. So for example, be a consistent blogger. Like, what does that mean? Consistent, I know what I mean by it. Like, I don't necessarily mean I have to be blogging every week, but I just wanted to get into a good rhythm of blogging. And blogging is very like wide in terms of what it means. So it means in terms of video, so in terms of YouTube, in terms of podcasting, and in terms of writing. So I think since the beginning of the year I've been pretty good at that. I've been, well, at least before lockdown, I was bringing out a podcast every week. I still haven't blogged this year in terms of writing, and YouTube, of course. Now I'm at a good rhythm where I'm actually doing 2 videos a week. Whether that's going to continue, I don't know, but I would say that's definitely been consistent. I've been able to set a sort of schedule for myself, and I've been able to actually abide by it most times. Obviously nobody's perfect, but I think I've been able to do that. But it's a yearly goal, so I need to make sure that that is definitely revisited every quarter and check whether that's gonna, you know, continue. So I think I'm going on the right track there. To step out of my social comfort zone. Social where? Social who? Social where? Honestly, since March, we've been doing social distancing, so there's no social comfort taken there. Like, there's no social comfort zone to even check it against because there has been nothing social. So that's definitely a goal that, I mean, I would have never known that, you know, a whole pandemic would have slowed down the whole world. So I'm going to give myself grace in terms of that. But I think what I can use for that is to actually step out of my social media comfort zone. So I've actually had a really bad habit of, when it comes to my content, whether it is my podcast or my YouTube, I haven't been very good at promoting it, and that has been because I've been really like worried and never really know how it's going to take. And obviously I also have quite a few insecurities with some of the social media platforms too. But I think that a way that I can actually work on that goal is to make sure I keep promoting myself, because I mean, this is for you guys as well. Nobody's going to promote your stuff like you can. My friends have been so amazing with promoting my stuff even when I don't. Like, I'll release a video and then I'll see on Twitter that one of my friends has actually shared it, and I'm like, whoa, You guys are on it. And I think to myself, I appreciate that so much, but if I'm not even backing myself, how am I expecting people to back me as well? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just glad that I have amazing friends that have actually pushed me and encouraged me to promote my stuff. But this can't be the case. Like, they can't keep flying the flag for me. I need to fly it myself, if that makes sense. So I think we can all learn from that. Even if, you know, maybe you had a goal that is socially focused, there is certain ways you could do that through social media. Maybe you want to make sure that you are, you know, working on your bonds with your friends. Make sure that you are reaching out to them when you can. Make sure that you're having the opportunity to FaceTime them. I mean, now you can meet up in the park and do social distancing. So maybe we can actually do those little things that could actually help us to strengthen our social bond. So I definitely see how I'm going to make sure that I step out of my social comfort zone in social media and see how we can, you know, make sure that that is definitely still being exercised throughout the year. My third personal goal was to write my own sermon. Now, this is funny because I'm actually about to do this now. Like, I actually am doing a YAF service tomorrow. YAF stands for Young Adult Fellowship. So for my church, luckily we've been able to host a session every week because it's been online. So because it's just Zoom, we've been able to do that every week. And I've actually been given the opportunity to lead a sermon there. And I actually want to write it as a sermon as opposed to just a discussion topic, because I find that a lot of times, maybe it's because of my lack of confidence in the word or my lack of confidence in terms of my spiritual maturity, that's actually stopped me, and I've noticed that. So that's the reason why I told myself I want to write my own sermon, and I want it to be fully backed with doctrine, the correct doctrine, the right word, and, you know, it's taking everything into context. So I think that I'm actually working on that. You know, now I'm going to make sure that it is 30 minutes because I actually specified I want it to be a 30-minute sermon. So I'm going to work on that, and hopefully, who knows, by Monday I'll actually be ticking that off. But that's definitely something that I should consider. I mean, you guys should consider that too. It shouldn't be something that is just a tick off and then it stops there. I definitely need to keep working on that. The same skills that it would take me to be actually writing that sermon is something that I need to make sure I exercise often. So you guys, make sure that when it comes to your goals, whatever you've set for yourself, even if you've done it, you need to make sure that you are continually exercising that skill or whatever it may be, that area, as much as possible, so that it's not just a case of you've ticked it and then you never hear from it again. Cool. So next to that, we have financial goals. You guys, I'm really taking you in right now, but it's cool. It's cool. So my first financial goal was to become a more confident investor. That has definitely not been ticked off. That is not something I've achieved, but that's something that all of us should be working on. I recognize that maybe not now because it's quite a rocky time in terms of finances. It also may not be the best time to invest. It's difficult. I think that we should be investing 24/7, like all the time, no matter what the market is saying. But I think that it's important to really equip yourself with the right knowledge before you getting into any investing of any sort. So if you want to learn about investing, definitely make sure you're reading up on everything, even if you don't have the money now. And let me know if you want me to do a video on investing. I'll definitely be happy to do that. I mean, as a beginner, because like I said, I'm not a confident investor yet, but it is something that we should all be working on doing. And it's so important, especially during this time. And the reason why it's especially important during this time is because, in case you didn't know, the Bank of England has set interest rates at 0.1, and that's the base interest rate. So in terms of any interest rate that your bank will be giving you for your savings, is likely to be very, in fact, extremely low. That means that year on year, you will be losing money against the value of the money that was in there. So you put £100 in today, for example, this time next year, it's not going to be worth the same £100 because you're not going to be able to buy as much as you could this year. It's really hard to explain, like, inflation and the reason why that is the case. If you want me to explain further, definitely let me know. I'll also do a podcast on it too. But essentially, the problem is that if you save right now, you are in essence losing money. But investing gives you the opportunity to gain money and gain money above inflation. So investing is very important. Everyone should be doing it as early as possible, as early as you can. So I definitely will still be working on that throughout the year, and please make sure you are too. The next thing I have as my financial goal, it's my last financial goal, is to save the maximum amount in my lifetime ISA. And I'm glad to say that I have done that. I have saved the maximum amount I could last year. So I saved up to 4,000 before the financial year ended in April. And then I've been able to save another 4,000 in there for the end of this financial year too. So I've saved the maximum amount in there, which means that I've put £8,000 inside my lifetime ISA, and then the government will be giving me £2,000 extra free money on top. So that means I've got another £10,000 saved towards my deposit. I am so excited. By this time next year, I could have £12,000 in there that I've put in there myself, and the government would have given me £3,000 overall, which would then mean I've got £15,000 towards my deposit. I want you guys to feel this sense of happiness too. So definitely make sure you get a lifetime ISA if you want to buy a house. Even if you don't want to buy a house in the next 5 to 6 years, save as much as you can in there, just little bit by little bit, because honestly, little bit every day goes a long way. I said that in a previous video as well, sorry, I love to rhyme. But a little bit every day goes a long way. Even if you can only be saving about £10, you know, £20 here and there, or £100 a month, it will add up and you'll get a bonus at the end, and it will be worth it. So trust me, lifetime ISA is the way to go if you want to buy a house, if you want to save towards your deposit, gets you into good saving habits. And I want you guys to feel like me too. I want you guys to see how much money you could be saving and see how much money you could be closer towards your house saving goal. By the way, if you want to learn how to save towards a deposit or save towards a house fast, definitely make sure you check out my video. Again, it's going to come up here. I talk about all the techniques I'm using to save for a house very quickly, and I think it could very much help you out too. So yeah, I've told you in depth what my goals are. What I would say is that when it comes to approaching the goals that you're going to take for the rest of the year, definitely keep in mind the factors that are definitely going to impact them the most. So the first thing is, unfortunately, the pandemic. The pandemic has been a huge impact into everyone in terms of their finances, in terms of their physical goals, in terms of all the things that people may have wanted to do, their travel goals, like all these things that people would have wanted to do, would have planned for the year, is unfortunately on hold as a result of the pandemic. So one of the best things you can do is to keep the pandemic in mind when setting your goals for the rest of the year. Consider social distancing, consider what's going to be open, what shops are going to be open, consider whether there are still going to be flights, consider whether you're still going to be able to see your friends as you normally do, consider the fact that people are also, you know, high risk, and you may not be able to be around the people that you love the most. So yeah, consider the pandemic in setting your new goals, but there's still so much that can be achieved. For example, online, for example, over FaceTime, there's still many different ways you can approach it. I've realized that during this pandemic, I have been keeping up with my family in Nigeria way better than I would normally do, because I just have more time at home. I'm looking at my phone more, I'm on WhatsApp. So that's been great. So just think about the pandemic in terms of how it can impact your new goals, and then make sure you set smart goals. Give yourself, you know, deadlines, give yourself what exactly you want to do and how you will know when you've achieved it. That's very important. Another thing I would tell you to consider in terms of setting your new goals is actually the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, this has been a huge impact on pretty much everyone, everyone black especially, because it has affected everyone's mental health in a certain way. Some people are very encouraged and think that there's a lot that can be achieved, and that very much is the case, but a lot of people as well have been impacted very adversely in terms of not feeling like they have the drive to do the things that they were previously wanting to do. And I would just say, give yourself grace, give yourself time. Like, this fight that we're going to be fighting is for the long haul, so don't burn yourself out. Like, just consider what you want to do and what you can achieve for your community. And that's one thing I would say that, like, I've realized about my goals. Like, none of my goals were community focused. None of them considered my family, my friends, and like my wider community. Like, in terms of me getting a house, I feel like that is very much the case, but I've realized that for my goals for the rest of the year and for Kingdom Come until the end of time, I'm going to be making sure that my goals have some sort of community focus and will be helping people some way, shape or form, especially my black people. So definitely consider the Black Lives Matter movement, consider your mentor, consider giving yourself grace when it comes to your new goals. And just make sure that you are talking to people, you're opening up, giving yourself time to breathe, giving yourself time to feel, and giving yourself time to rest. So those are the two things I would say you should consider when setting your new goals for the year. Of course, You can check out my podcast for all the episodes that I spoke about in terms of setting goals for the year. It's really the middle of June and there's still so much that we can achieve. I want you guys to be in December and looking back at this time and being like, yo, I really did that, you know? And I feel like it's so important to be able to just document that and to give yourself grace and reflect on your small wins and also reflect on your achievements. It's so important. So definitely make sure you give yourself the opportunity to set new goals, give yourself grace, consider your mentor, but also aim high, aim very high, because you are very, very capable of doing whatever you set your heart to. I pray God will grant you your goals. I pray God will grant you your desires. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It very much helps me out. And subscribe for more content. And guys, if you could comment down below like what other videos you may want to see from me, I would very much appreciate it. I'm starting to run out of ideas and I'm starting to worry that I'm not giving any value, like, because the fact that I'm running out of ideas makes me worry like am I actually helping people. So definitely comment down below. Let me know if you want to see something specific from me. If there's a specific question that you have, let me know and I will definitely do my best to help you out. Thank you guys so much for watching right to the end. If you've watched right to the end as well, could you comment down below something random like, I don't know, peach? Just comment down below peach so that I know that you've come right to the end, because I very much appreciate it. So I hope you take care, have a blessed and beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.